The guy secretly runs a TikTok account where he reveals all his girlfriend's secrets, and one day she finds out. You ever think you know someone? I mean, really know them. How they talk when they're tired, the way they always forget their keys, how they cry during those sappy commercials with dogs in the rain. That was Lena to me. My girl. My partner for 3 years. We lived in a small third-floor walk-up, the kind with creaky stairs and a view of a brick wall. But we were happy. Or I thought we were. Now here's the thing. I run a TikTok account. Not the dancing kind. Not cooking or pranks. Mine's called Handle with Care. It's anonymous. No face, no name. Just a voice, my voice, telling stories. Every day, I'd post little anecdotes. Confessions from the girlfriend files, I call them. Funny stuff at first, like how she hides snacks in the toilet tank, or how she sleeps with one sock on and one sock off like it's a legal requirement. People ate it up. Blew up fast. Comments came in by the hundreds. We love Lena's quirks, they'd say. She sounds like a mess, in the best way. But then, I got greedy. It started with one story. A real secret. Something she told me in a whisper one night when we were curled up under the blanket, watching a thunderstorm paint shadows on the ceiling. My mom doesn't know I dropped out of college, she said. She thinks I graduated last year. She laughed nervously after saying it. Swore me to secrecy. And I did what any decent boyfriend would do. I told 500,000 strangers on the internet. Didn't use her name. Didn't show her face. Just said my girlfriend. Changed the details. A little. It was anonymous. Safe. Or so I thought. After that video, the one about her mom in college, my account exploded. We're talking 50,000 new followers overnight. Comments rolled in like waves. Bro, this tea is piping hot. Can't wait for tomorrow's episode. Drop the next secret. People were addicted. Like watching a soap opera unfold, but one drip at a time. And the thing is, it felt good. Not just the views. The control. The power. Lena had always been the one with the stories. The one who walked into a room and everyone listened. I was just the guy who held her purse while she danced in the grocery store aisle. But now they were listening to me. Next I posted about the birthmark. Lena has one, right at the small of her back, shaped like a heart. She used to say it made her feel self-conscious, so I turned it into a sweet little post. No names. Just, my girl's got a heart-shaped birthmark that she hates, but I think it's the sexiest thing in the world. That one got duet by 3 influencers and made it onto a TikTok compilation called Secrets That'll Make You Go Aw. But the comments started changing. This sounds familiar. Wait, is this about Lena from Greenpoint? Didn't she say her mom still thinks she's in law school? I started sweating. Fast. See, I thought I'd been careful. Changed the names. Fudged some details. But the internet's like a bloodhound. Give it a scent, and it'll sniff out everything you ever tried to hide. I told myself it was fine. Just noise. Nobody would connect the dots. Not really. But then came the DM. From a burner account. No profile pic. No name. Just 4 words. She's gonna find out. I stared at it for a long time, heart pounding like a jackhammer in my chest. Because deep down, I knew they were right. And Lena? She had no clue. Yet, Lena started humming again. That was her thing when she was in a good mood. This little off-key tune that sounded like a broken music box. She was in the kitchen, barefoot, stirring something in a pan and swaying like she hadn't a care in the world. And me? I was dying inside. Every notification on my phone felt like a ticking bomb. The DM still sat there, unopened since that first glance. She's gonna find out. Just 5 words, but they echoed louder than anything else that day. That night, Lena crawled into bed beside me, kissed my shoulder, and whispered, "You ever feel like something big's coming? Like a storm you can't see, but you can smell it?" I didn't answer. Because yeah, I felt it. The next morning, it happened. We were having coffee on the fire escape, her feet in my lap, both of us pretending we weren't melting in the summer heat. She was scrolling her phone when she suddenly went still. "You ever hear of this account?" she asked, holding out her screen. It was my page. Handle with Care. Top video. My girlfriend lied to her family for years about graduating college. I helped her keep the lie. That makes me complicit, right? I froze. I should have had a plan. A lie. Something clever. But all I said was, "That's just some guy making stuff up." She stared at me. Not angry. Not sad. Just quiet. Like she was solving a puzzle and just found the last piece under the couch. Then she laughed. But it wasn't her real laugh. It was sharp, almost hollow. Oh, she said. So I'm a storyline now. I opened my mouth, closed it, opened it again. She didn't wait for an answer. She stood, went inside, and closed the window behind her. Didn't slam it. Didn't yell. Just closed it. I sat out there for an hour, maybe more. Long enough for the sun to start slipping down behind the buildings. Inside, her phone lit up the room like a lighthouse. One missed call, then another. Not from me. Her mom. Her sister. Her best friend Liv. That's when I knew. It wasn't just a secret anymore. It was public. I came inside eventually. Figured I'd find her packing, maybe yelling, maybe crying. But Lena? She was sitting on the couch, arms crossed, staring at the pause screen of our TV. Some old rerun playing. Didn't even look like she was watching. Just being there. Lena, I don't, she said. Not loud. Not sharp. Just final. I stood there like a kid who broke a vase and thought maybe he could glue it back before Mom noticed. I didn't mean for it to be like that, I said. I just thought. You thought what? That my secrets were your content? She looked at me now. Her eyes didn't burn. They chilled. Was any of it real? Or just good material? I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. She nodded like that was answer enough. Then she asked the question that cracked me open. How many videos are about me? I wanted to lie. I really did. But all I said was, a few. She pulled out her phone, opened TikTok, typed in the handle, and I watched her scroll. 1, 2, 10. Her hand didn't shake. Her face didn't change. But her foot started tapping. That little nervous twitch she gets when she's holding something heavy, like anger or heartbreak, or both. I told you that stuff in confidence, she said, almost whispering. Some of it I've never told anyone else. And you turned it into entertainment. I changed details, I blurted out. It wasn't. I didn't think anyone would figure it out. But someone did, she said. That's how I found it. Someone messaged me. Said, is this you? I stared at the floor. The cracks in the wood. The old wine stain near the radiator. I loved you, she said. And that's when her voice broke. Just once. God, I trusted you. That's when I tried to reach for her. And that's when she stood up. Don't. So I stopped. She grabbed her keys, her jacket, and nothing else. Walked to the door. Looked back once. I hoped the lights were worth it. The door clicked shut. And for the first time in years, the apartment felt empty. She was gone. And not just gone like went to her sister's gone. I mean like gone. No calls. No texts. No toothbrush in the cup. No coat on the hook. The place looked the same, but felt like a museum. Like someone died here and the ghost hadn't made peace with it yet. I did what anyone dumb enough and desperate enough would do. I posted. No story. No twist. No clever background music. Just me. Face half in shadow. I messed up, I said. The girl I love found out I've been using our relationship as content. She's gone now. And I don't blame her. The video went viral. People loved it. You're so brave for admitting it. Bro, I cried at this. She'll come back. Just give her time. And mixed in, you're still using her for views. This is performative. Where's the apology off camera? Don't let this man cook. Let him clean, reflect, grow. I turned off the comments. But it was too late. Every part of me had been picked apart, examined, reacted to, and reposted with slow piano music and whispery captions. Lena? She didn't respond. But her sister did. She'd met me 3 words. Leave. Her. Alone. I stared at it for a while. Wondered if Lena was watching. If she saw me squirm. If she still felt hurt, or just nothing. Then came the email. From a brand rep. Love the raw emotion in your latest. Want a collab? Think hashtag redemption arc would trend. That's when I knew. It was never really about Lena anymore. Not to them. To the followers, I was just a character in a show. A plotline. A drama with a cliffhanger. But to her, I was the guy who betrayed trust for internet points. And there's no edit button big enough to erase that. I deleted the app. Well, I tried. Tried to disappear like the whole thing had never happened. But the moment I did, I found mirrors in every direction. Clips of my voice stitched into breakup montages. My confession re-uploaded with dramatic music. A girl with a soft voice and 2 million followers saying, "This is why I don't trust men who overshare. They don't process, they perform." I shut it all down. Account gone. Emails archived. Phone off. But the damage wasn't just online. It was in the grocery store when a cashier said, "You look familiar. Were you on TikTok?" It was in my building, when the couple from 4B looked at me different, not like a neighbor anymore, but like a cautionary tale. It was in the silence of my apartment, where every mug reminded me of mornings with her, and every drawer felt like it had one too many memories stuck inside. And it was in the note Lena left behind. I found it tucked under my pillow for days after she left. No hearts, no sign-off, just this. You turned me into a character, but I'm a real person. I hope one day, when the noise dies down, you remember that. I read it a dozen times. Then I drove. Nowhere fancy, just out past the edge of the city where the lights thin and the roads grow quiet. Pulled off near a lake. Sat with the engine off and the windows down. Let the cold settle in my bones. And I thought about the first video I ever made. Me and Lena on a rainy Tuesday, her dancing like a fool in the kitchen, singing off-key to some 90s track. That moment, that was real. But everything after? I started filming instead of feeling, posting instead of protecting. And somewhere along the line, I lost her. It came in just after midnight. Not a DM, not a comment. A friend request. From Liv, Lena's best friend. The kind who knew all her secrets. The kind who had a voice like sandpaper and eyes that didn't miss a thing. The one who looked at me sideways the first time we met, like she already saw the ending written in my teeth. I stared at the screen. Didn't accept. Didn't decline. Just sat there. 5 minutes later, the message came. I'm not here to yell. I read it twice before responding. Then why are you here? Her reply was almost immediate. Because she's hurting. And I don't think you even realize what you did. I exhaled, leaned back, stared at the ceiling like it might give me an answer. I messed up, I typed. I know that. There was a pause. Then another message. You didn't just mess up. You made her feel small. Disposable. Like her pain was a plot twist. That one hit different. I never meant to. But you did. And the worst part. She still talks about you. I sat there, frozen. What does she say? That she misses you. That she wishes you'd protected her instead of posting about her. That she keeps checking the app even though she deleted it. That she hopes you're okay, but she doesn't know if she could ever trust you again. My chest felt tight, like someone was pressing a book down on it. Where is she? I asked. Can I talk to her? Another pause. Then, no, not now. That should have been the end. But Liv added one more thing. If you ever want to fix it, don't go online. Don't post. Don't make this about you again. Just be better. Quietly. And then she unmatched me. Just like that, door shut. I sat in the dark for hours, replaying every video I'd made, every like I chased, every little betrayal I convinced myself was harmless. And for the first time, I wondered, could I ever be worth trusting again? I didn't post again. Didn't even open the app. Instead, I started writing. Not for likes. Not for views. Just for me. Or maybe for her. Someday, if she ever wanted to read it. Each morning I'd sit at the old kitchen table, the one with the coffee rings and scratches from her keys, and write a letter. 1 page, sometimes 2. No excuses. No spin. Just honesty. I wrote about the first night we danced in the living room with socks on and pizza in the oven. I wrote about the time I broke her favorite mug and lied, said it fell off the shelf. I wrote about how I used to feel invisible next to her, and how the attention made me feel real, and how that was never her fault. It was mine. I didn't send them. Just folded each page, tucked them in a shoebox, and kept going. Meanwhile, I started therapy. Real therapy, not some podcast clip or Instagram reel. The therapist asked me why I shared her secrets. I said, because people listened. She said, then let's figure out why that matters so much. And we did. Turns out, I'd spent most of my life trying to be seen. By my dad. By old friends who drifted. By a world that feels like a racetrack where I'm always 2 steps behind. Lena saw me, but I still needed more. And I heard her chasing it. Weeks passed. The comments dried up. So did the DMs. People moved on. The account faded like a chalk drawing in the rain. But Lena? She stayed in my thoughts. One day I passed our old cafe. The one where she'd always order oat milk and make friends with stray cats in the alley. I thought about going in. Thought maybe she'd be there. But I didn't. Instead, I took a letter from the box, the one I wrote the morning after she left, and slid it between the pages of a book she once said changed her life. The bell jar. Left it at the used bookstore near her place. No name. No contact. Just a note inside. If you ever feel like forgiving me, I'm trying to be someone who deserves it. 3 months had passed. The account was gone. Lena was gone. The buzz, the comments, the duets, the midnight emails, all silent. But I wasn't. I was working. On myself. Therapy twice a week. Volunteering at a local library on Saturdays. Writing every morning. No cameras. No narrations. Just ink and breath. Then, one day, someone recognized me. Not in a crowd. Not at a party. At a laundromat. Middle of a Tuesday. Rain tapping on the windows. I was folding towels, minding my own, when a girl in a navy hoodie stepped beside me. "You're that guy," she said. My stomach dropped. I braced myself. But she didn't sneer. She didn't pull out a phone. She just kept folding her socks. "You're the guy who posted about his girlfriend. The one who left." I nodded. Quietly. She looked at me, really looked. My ex did that too. Except he used Instagram. Called it Relationship Truths. She gave a small, tired smile. "Never thought I'd say this, but your video helped me leave." I blinked. "I hated what you did," she added, not unkindly. "But you saying you messed up? That part. That made it real. That made me see my story, too." She picked up her laundry basket, paused at the door. "I hope you're actually changing. Not just online. For her. Yeah, but for yourself too." Then she was gone. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel exposed. I felt seen. For something real. When I got home, I wrote another letter. Not to apologize. Not to beg. Just to say I was still here. Still working. Still trying to become someone whose love didn't come with a camera. And in the back of my mind, I wondered, had she found the book? It was a Wednesday. Same as any other. Clouds hanging low like they had something to say. I was restocking shelves at the bookstore, the one where I'd left the letter. And that's when I saw it. The bell jar. Not just a copy. That copy. Worn corners. Faded spine. A tiny blue sticker on the back. Same one I'd peeled off, then stuck back on crooked. It was lying on the returns card, next to a stack of poetry and a novel with cracked binding. My heart thumped. I reached for it slow, like it might vanish if I moved too fast. Flipped it open. The letter was gone. But in its place, scribbled in the margin of page 63, right where Sylvia writes about feeling like everyone else had a map, was a single line, written in neat, familiar handwriting. I found it. No name. No date. Just that. I stood there for a long time, the book open in my hands, heart pounding like I was 19 again and falling in love for the first time. She'd found it. That meant she'd read it. She'd heard me. Didn't mean she forgave me. Didn't mean she wanted to come back. But it meant she saw I was trying. I took the book to the counter. Paid for it again. Didn't care. Held it like a relic on the walk home. That night, I lit a candle. Sat at the kitchen table. Pulled out a fresh page. And I wrote. Not a letter this time. A new story. Not for TikTok. Not for fame. Just a story about a guy who nearly lost everything because he forgot that love is something you protect, not something you post. The ending? I hadn't figured it out yet. But for once, I was okay with that. It didn't happen like in the movies. No dramatic rainstorm. No airport gate. No running through crowds shouting each other's names. It happened in the produce aisle. I was reaching for a bunch of cilantro, something she always swore tasted like soap, when I heard a voice behind me. "Still don't know the difference between parsley and cilantro, huh?" I froze. Turned slow. There she was. Lena. Hair longer. Eyes tired, but kind. No makeup. Just a hoodie and jeans, and the kind of presence that stops time. We stared at each other for a second that felt like 10 years. She broke the silence first. "I saw the book," she said. "Didn't expect that." "I didn't expect you to write back," I said, my voice barely there. She gave a little smile. Not the big, loud one I used to know. This one was quieter. "Earned." "I almost didn't," she said. "I carried it in my bag for weeks. Then one day I read your letter again, and I don't know. It didn't feel like you were trying to win. Just trying." I said. Still am. We stood there, surrounded by avocados and oranges, and two old ladies arguing about the price of bananas. "I'm not here for a speech," she said. "I'm not." Back. "I know. But I'm curious," she added. "About who you're becoming." That hit deeper than anything. I nodded. "You want coffee?" I asked, not pushing. She thought for a moment. "Someplace quiet. No phones. Just talking." Of course. We didn't hug. Didn't even smile much. But we walked out of that store side by side. Not close enough to touch, just close enough to hope. And hope? That's more than I thought I'd ever get again. We met for coffee. Then again a week later. Then twice more. Always someplace quiet. Always just us. We didn't talk about TikTok. Not directly. She'd glance at my hands sometimes. Not accusing, just cautious. Like she was checking for a camera she couldn't see. I still write, I said one day. Just not online. She nodded. Stirred her tea. I read a few of your old letters, she admitted. The ones Liv forwarded me. Some were hard. I know. She looked at me, steady, but honest. That meant more than I can say. It wasn't romantic, not at first. It wasn't some fairy tale return. It was two people sitting with the damage they'd done, her with the bruises I caused, me with the silence she left behind. We took walks, talked about old movies. One day she laughed at something I said. Full laugh, the real kind, the one that used to light up our apartment like a candle. I didn't record it, didn't even think about it. That night, I pulled out the box. All the letters, every folded apology, every scribbled page. I put them in a bag, not to throw away, just to give them a new home, out of my kitchen, out of the past. Next morning, I left the bag at her door. No note, just closure, if she wanted it. Weeks passed. Then one day, she invited me to her place. No pretense, no warning. Just said, "You hungry?" I was. She cooked. I did the dishes. We sat on her tiny balcony watching the sun settle behind the skyline. And then she said it. "I think I'm ready." Ready for what? I asked. To see who you are now, she said. Not who you were on camera. I didn't cry, but I wanted to. That night, lying beside her again, I stared at the ceiling like I used to. Except this time, there was no storm outside. No secrets. No followers. Just her breath, slow and steady. And peace. I never reopened the account. Never posted about us again. Because the best parts, the real parts, they were never meant for anyone else. They were meant for us.